how do you, individual Eddie Ifft, human being, you've lived this life, you experienced all these things, you made a conscious decision that, like, I'm gonna get married, have a family. These are the things that I want to experience. And there's a sort of gravity in having a child. And I don't mean that in the sense of like it's really important. I literally mean that in the sense like they're a black hole. Like they suck the energy out of every other aspect of your entire existence. How do you have any practices or thought or ability to do your work and be a husband and take care of yourself? Like where do you find those things? How do you prioritize those things?
That's a good question. My promoter in Australia said to me, and she's got a couple kids. I just told her at one point, I go, I feel like I'm failing at everything. She goes, you are. You have 2 young children and you will fail for about 5 years. She goes, everything will fall apart because you're in the formative years where you're making that child. And that's really your priority. And she's like, and then when that's over, when they, you get through those years, then you can start focusing on everything else. But you got to get through those years. And so we had a 6 and we had 4 years in between. So I got, 3 more years of this. So it turns into, more than 5 years. I'm lucky in a number of ways because of my profession. I escape. My wife gets hammered. I escape to go on the road, to go make the money. When I'm away, the hard part is I get lonely and I miss them all very much. However, I was just in Vegas all week. I slept in till 11 a.m. every day. I took every supplement I have. I went to the gym and out to Red Rocks and was like mountain biking, working out. I had a like a jacuzzi hot tub in my room. I was, and I came back like, woo, I feel good. And my wife just looks at me like, I want to fucking kill you. Like the last thing she wants to hear is I have a good night's sleep. She would rather hear that I had sex with an AIDS-ridden hooker than I had a good night's sleep. We have a Nest Cam and I can see what's happening at home in the kids' room. And so I'll see, I'll get these like notifications when there's movement and I'll just see her going from room to room all night, like this kid getting in bed with this kid, going over here, getting milk for this. And I don't see this till the morning when I wake up and I see them all. And I'm like, ooh, looks like a rough night. Maybe I'll go get a green juice.
Maybe I'll get a massage. Seems
Yeah.
like Lauren had a rough night. I'm going to get a massage.
So I have that is like a reprieve. Usually I'm on the road only like 2 nights a week, but last week was a full week. I have that. And I also have that my kids now are the focus of my material. So spending a lot of time with them is like work. And I've also been the kind of guy, I think I kind of live by like how you do anything is how you do everything. And so if you're going to do it right. Like I just got a new dog and I'm training the fuck out of it because I like having a good dog. I like when my dog doesn't jump on people and doesn't have to be on a leash and comes when you call it and can do some tricks and stuff. So it's kind of like kids. I like when kids come when you call them and don't
jump
have
on
to wear
people.
Yeah. So I invest in them. Like I like taking them to skateboarding and soccer and surfing and skiing. And I want them to like I joke on stage that I had kids because I needed friends. And it's true.
That's strong. That's really strong.
I ran out of friends. Like my friends all had busy lives. And I was like, and I didn't want to hang out with like degenerates and like strip clubs and stuff like that or out at bars, So I was like, I'll make some new friends. And
I'll literally make new friends.
Yeah. And my new friends now do all the shit that I do.
Because they don't have a choice.
Exactly.
So
I made the friend I always wanted.
so you're in an interesting role, an interesting position because of your work. You know, you're an entertainer, you're a comedian, you just said yourself, your material is about your kids. Are there boundaries? Are there outer bounds of like, okay, this is what our experiences together are. I'm dad. And then this is what our, what's fair game for, sharing or exaggerating into the comedy or whatever.
What before I had kids, I used to think, oh, you know what? I'm going to be a really honest parent. Like, I'm not telling them, I'm going to tell them Santa Claus is bullshit. I'm going to talk to them about sex, drugs, rock and, like I will tell them everything. They will be completely exposed and I will be an honest parent and blah, blah, blah. And I will treat them like this. And then I had children and realized like their minds can't handle that. And that there's a reason that you keep that shit from them. And so, um, it's like my daughter loves fart jokes, loves them. And I have to be the one sitting here going, Izzy, stop. That's potty humor. That's left for the bathroom. And daddy doesn't like that. Meanwhile, I'm like, daddy loves that. Like, like that's my favorite thing
You
in the
like
world.
turn around and you're like shedding a tear of
Yeah,
joy and
yeah,
pride. You're like, oh,
yeah.
my little girl's growing up.
Yeah. And I have a bit in my act about how she got like in trouble at school because they said that we were at the parent teacher conferences and they were like, your daughter, she's great, but and I'm like, but what? They're like, she thinks that it's a problem. Your daughter thinks that farts are funny. And I was like, that's my girl. And I was like, what's the big deal about that? And they're like, well, it's a problem because all the other kids in class keep trying to make her laugh. Teacher goes, so now we have like a sharding epidemic in the school. And I was like, this is amazing. My daughter caused the sharding epidemic of
you're
kids.
like, you're like, go on, tell me more, be
Yeah.
specific.
But,
Taking notes.
but like my daughter, obviously, she's at the age now where she knows what I do. She's kind of figured it out. She wants to see it. I will not let her see it. I will not let her hear it. She calls me when I'm on stage a lot. I don't like to exploit my children. Like I felt like in the beginning I wasn't gonna ever put them on social media or anything. And then I was like, I don't care. Like people are gonna see this shit anyways, and no one wants to see your shit. No one really cares. So I do post stuff of them. I hope to God they never get in the entertainment business. But if they insist on it, I'll support them. But I don't want that. But she'll call me and she's like, Dad, can I tell a joke on stage? And she's like, let me, because I will talk to her from the stage. And like when she was like 3, she called me once and she's like, hi, Daddy. And I had her on speakerphone. The audience was like going crazy. And all of a sudden I hear a fart and she goes, ooh, I tooted. And the like roof went off the place. And she goes, she's on FaceTime. She goes, let me see the audience. And I was like,
Oh no.
yeah. And I was like, wow. So my wife puts Cruz to bed every night. And it's about, depending on where I am in the country, I might be on stage. If I'm on the East Coast, I'm on stage at that time. And so Izzy will call me from the phone while knowing that I'm on stage. And I see the phone. I'm on stage because I record my sets and it'll stop my recording because I see a FaceTime call from my wife. And every once in a while, depending on how the show's going, I'll pick it up. And then she'll do a joke like, what did the leaf say to the tree? I'm leafing. These are like they're like jokes she makes up.
Yeah, classic.
And she likes it, and so I think it's just children naturally like what their parents do. And but she really doesn't have an idea of the only time when she was like 2, we in Australia, I said, Lauren, we were at a festival and I said, bring her. I was in a tent doing comedy in this big like circus tent. I said, bring her in when they introduce me. Just let her see me go up on stage and then take her to bed because it was late. And I said, so So I go on stage and I'm like, hey, thanks for coming out. Hi, hello, Australia. How are you? And all of a sudden I hear, Dad, Dad, Dad. And she's standing at the bottom of the stage. And I was like, and I'm like, where's my wife? And I see her all the way in the back. And Lauren's like, not doesn't have stage fright, but she's like, doesn't want the limelight. And I'm like, Lauren, get her. And she's like,
Oh my
Lauren's
God.
looking at me like this. And I'm like, no, get her right now. And Izzy just looks at me. She goes, Dad, what are you doing? And I was like, Lauren. And I go, Izzy, go to mommy right now. Go to mommy. Go, go, go. And she starts crying and runs back to Lauren. And the whole crowd boos me, making my daughter cry. I haven't been on stage like 10 seconds and I'm getting booed by the audience. There's like 1,000 people in the crowd. And then some guy starts heckling me and I go, dude, do you see what I just did to my daughter? Do you know what I'll do to you?
Nice.
Like I just made my daughter cry. But I don't know. I was extremely sheltered from bad shit. Not bad shit, because it's all the shit I do now. But I grew up Catholic and we weren't even allowed to say pee in our house. And so look at me now.
Yeah.
So my thing is, let's bring them up with a healthy amount of exposure, because if you try to restrict them, like I always feel like if you repress people, you end up with like Catholic priests.
Yeah, you get like the puritanical thing, and then they leave for college, and then everything goes crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, my parents tried that. Like we are Catholic. I've never heard my dad or mom curse. And it was just weird. It was creepy. And it's just, to me, it's like, my dad's all about its class and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, but at a certain point, you're like weird.